There's a great myth out there among high school students that somehow more is better. And students come to us with these resumes that are 3 pages long. My resume's not even 3 pages long. And they really think that if they're involved with 15 or 20 activities, that somehow that is going to strengthen their application for admission. The reality is that colleges and universities are looking for students who have found themselves, who know where their interests lie, and have made a commitment to 1 or 2 things. I'm going to use my niece as an example. She has been dancing ballet since she was 6 years old. She now spends 5 days a week going to ballet class, participating in recitals. It is an extraordinary commitment, not unlike an athlete who is playing basketball or soccer. And that's her primary area of interest. She doesn't have time to do a lot of other things, but she knows what she loves. Colleges and universities like to see that.
Interesting. Discuss, if you would, the significance of letters of recommendation and what advice you might give an applicant as to what type of letters to bring.
So most selective colleges and universities subscribe to this holistic process, which means we're not driven by just an SAT. This is not a formula. We want to get to know who the student is to begin to answer that question about fit. And teacher recommendations and counselor recommendations are one of the ways that we go about doing that. With an applicant pool as large as mine, which was over 54,000 students last year,
wow,
for this freshman class of 3,600, we obviously don't know what it will be this year, but we rely on teachers and counselors who are in the classroom each and every day with students to tell us about who they are, what their successes are academically. They're the ones that can give us some insight into what they're like in the classroom. Do they always come prepared? Do they ask questions? Do they challenge their peers? Are they able to identify when they're struggling, come in for help? But they're the ones that can give us their sound advice, their sound expertise about whether or not a student can handle the rigors of a college classroom.
Are there certain things that help you eliminate to get down to a more reasonable number that you can then fill your spots from? Are there some red flags that are warnings that, hey, this person may not be successful here?
We certainly begin our review process by looking at the high school transcript. We know what kind of preparation students need in order to be successful here. And students need to be achieving at a very high level to be competitive for admission to BU. The typical student we admitted last year had an A- average. So we begin there, but it's not just grades, and that's another myth that's out there. We really are far more interested in the level of rigor that's in a student's high school curriculum. Have they pushed themselves to take honors or advanced placement level courses? Advanced placement level courses in particular, because those are college level classes being taught in high school. And if a student is taking a few of those and doing well, I think it increases our confidence that they can do the work at Boston University.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.